2019, a small group of American Special Operations snipers gathered at a remote testing range. They were handed a rifle unlike anything in the current inventory, a modular, multi-caliber precision system that could swap between chamberings in under a minute, stretch its effective range beyond 500 meters, and suppress its own report with a suppressor purpose-built into its core design. The program that produced it had been grinding through government bureaucracy for nearly a decade. Rivals had been rejected, budgets had been questioned, and more than once, the people pushing for this rifle were told it was simply too ambitious, too complicated to survive a real-world military procurement process. They were wrong. The MK-22 ASR, the advanced sniper rifle, didn't just pass its trials. It destroyed every performance benchmark the United States Special Operations Command had placed in front of it. This is the story of how a rifle that should have failed became the most capable long-range precision platform in the American military's history, and why the path to get there was anything but straightforward. By the early 2000s, American Special Operations Forces were operational, NG across environments that exposed a fundamental problem in their sniper capability. Afghanistan's mountain terrain valleys that stretched beyond 2,000 meters, ridgelines that gave enemy fighters standoff most Western rifles couldn't match, was breaking the doctrine that had been written around shorter-range engagements. The M24 sniper weapon system, chambered in 7.62 by 51mm NATO, had served the Army since 1988. Accurate, proven, reliable, but limited in its reach. At ranges beyond 900 meters, in thin mountain air, its terminal performance degraded in ways that mattered in a firefight. Meanwhile, SOCOM units were fielding the Mark 13 Mod 7 in 300 Winchester Magnum for extended range engagements. And for the longest shots, confirmed kills stretching past 1,200 meters, a small number of operators were reaching for the .338 Lapua Magnum, a cartridge that had earned a reputation in British, Finnish, and other Allied sniper units for consistent terminal effect at distances where other calibers simply ran out of energy. The problem was fragmentation. American snipers were carrying systems built around different cartridges, different logistical chains, different training standards. Single platform could cover the full spectrum of the engagements they were being asked to take. And that gap between what doctrine assumed and what the battlefield demanded is where the MK-22 was born. The mission required one rifle that could do the work of three. Whether that was even possible was the question nobody could answer yet. The formal push toward a unified precision sniper system began taking shape within SOCOM planning circles in the early 2000s. The requirement was demanding by any standard: a single chassis rifle capable of operating in 300 Norma Magnum, 338 Norma Magnum, and 300 Winchester Magnum, with the ability to switch between calibers in the field without tools within a tactically relevant time frame. The program that would eventually produce the MK-22 was called the Advanced Sniper Rifle Program. SOCOM's intent was clear: replace the aging and fragmented inventory of long-range precision rifles with a single platform that could adapt to mission requirements, rather than forcing mission planners to adapt to platform limitations. Barrett Firearms, based in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, the company already known for the .50 caliber M82 and M107 rifle, that had defined long-range anti-material capability, submitted a design built around their MRAD platform. The MRAD multi-role adaptive design had been commercially available and internationally fielded before the ASR competition began, giving Barrett a foundation of real-world data and iterative refinement that purpose-built competition rifles often lack. The competition was rigorous. Multiple manufacturers entered the process. Requirements covered accuracy standards, suppressor integration, modularity under field conditions, and durability across environmental extremes: sand, cold, humidity, altitude. Rather than optimize for one condition, the MK-22 was designed to be reconfigured. The trade-off accepted in exchange for that adaptability was complexity, a more intricate system than a fixed-caliber bolt gun, with more components that required training and maintenance discipline to manage correctly. The philosophy also embraced suppressor integration as a standard capability rather than an afterthought. In previous generations, suppressors were accessories added to platforms that hadn't been engineered around them. The MK22 was built from the outset to function with its suppressor as part of the system, with a folding stock that allowed the full-length suppressed configuration to remain transportable. The core belief behind the design was that a sniper who could adapt his platform to the mission was more valuable than one locked into a single capability. That philosophy would either prove itself under test conditions or collapse under them. Short pause, it did not collapse. The MK22 operates on a straightforward bolt-action mechanism, a push-feed design with a fluted barrel and a chassis-style stock made from aluminum. The chassis approach, rather than a traditional wooden or fiberglass stock, provides the dimensional consistency and accessory integration that precision long-range shooting demands. The folding stock reduces the overall length of the rifle, significantly critical for operators moving through aircraft, vehicles, or confined terrain. When folded, the MK22 in its .338 Norma Magnum configuration with suppressor attached can still be transported and rapidly deployed. Barrel changes are the core of the modularity. A trained operator can swap the barrel assembly, which includes the bolt head, between caliber configurated onset in approximately 3 minutes without tools. This means a team deploying for a mission can select the caliber that matches the expected engagement distance, or carry spare barrels for contingency. The rifle's Picatinny rail system allows for the mounting of the ST's Sniper Targeting System optics package, which was procured alongside the MK22 as an integrated capability. The suppressor developed for the system produced by Gemtech as part of the contract was rated for sustained fire in the Magnum calibers, which generate significantly more pressure and heat than standard sniper cartridges. Engineering a suppressor that could survive repeated use in .338 Norma Magnum without degrading accuracy was one of the more demanding technical requirements in the entire program. Every design decision connected back to the same question: does this make the sniper more effective at the moment that matters? The answer, in testing, was consistently yes. But the real proof would not come from a range. It would come from something harder to simulate. The .338 Norma Magnum cartridge, selected as the primary chambering for the MK22 system, was not a new round when the ASR program adopted it. It had been developed in Sweden and had seen adoption by several allied special operations communities before SOCOM standardized around it. The cartridge is capable of effective engagement at ranges beyond 1,500 meters under appropriate atmospheric conditions, with terminal energy that remains consistent across that extended range in ways that 7.62mm NATO cannot replicate. At 1,000 meters, the .338 Norma Magnum retains substantially more energy than the standard .300 Winchester Magnum, a meaningful difference when the margin between mission success and failure can be a single shot's effect on a hardened target. The .300 Norma Magnum barrel configuration extends the effective range further, still approaching, and in some conditions, exceeding 1,800 meters. For trained operators, making the MK22 capable of engagements that would have required a dedicated anti-material rifle in previous doctrine. Cyclic capability on a bolt-action precision rifle is not measured in rounds per minute the way a machine gun is. What matters is the time between TID-EN accurate shots, and the MK22's bolt design allows for rapid cycling without the shooter breaking their cheek weld or losing their sight picture, a detail that experienced long-range shooters recognize as operationally significant. In suppressed configuration, the MK22 reduces both the acoustic signature and the muzzle blast to a degree that meaningfully complicates enemy ability to locate the firing position. In mountainous terrain where sound channels and echoes make direction finding difficult under any conditions, that suppression advantage compounds. The numbers were strong on paper, but the trials were where those numbers had to survive contact with reality. The MK22 entered formal SOCOM inventory beginning in 2019 and 2020, with deliveries continuing through the early part of the decade. Because special operations sniper employment is by its nature rarely documented in open source detail, verified public accounts of specific combat engagements with the MK-22 are limited a reality of the operational security that surrounds SOCOM units. What is documented through official procurement records, congressional budget justifications, and SOCOM acquisition reports? It is that the MK-22 program moved from contract award to fielded capability faster than many comparable SOCOM acquisitions. That speed of transition from selection to operational deployment reflects a level of platform confidence that procurement bureaucracies do not extend to systems they are uncertain about. The trial process itself functions as the closest available public record of the MK-22's demonstrated performance. SOCOM's requirements for the Advanced Sniper Rifle program were written to reflect actual mission needs drawn from more than 15 years of post-2001 combat experience. The accuracy standards, durability requirements, and modularity benchmarks were not theoretical, they were derived from what snipers had reported needing in Afghanistan, Iraq, and other operational environments. The MK-22 met or exceeded those standards across the evaluation. Reports from early fielding units, filtered through the usual restraint of special operations communities, discussing their equipment, indicated that the transition from legacy platforms to the MK-22 was smoother than anticipated, and that the modularity that had seemed ambitious on paper was proving functional in practice. Tice. Snipers who had operated with the MK-13 in 300 Winchester Magnum adapted to the 338 Norma Magnum chambering and found the extended effective range meaningful in real operational planning. What happened next, as the platform began accumulating field time, would reinforce something that the trials had suggested, but not fully confirmed. The suppressor integration, the element that had required the most engineering chaos, development, and that skeptics had identified as the most likely point of failure, was holding. Sustained use in field conditions, across temperature extremes, and repeated firing cycles, was not producing the degradation that critics of integrated suppressor systems had predicted. The Gemtech suppressor developed for the MK-22 was performing as designed, and the accuracy consistency that the system had demonstrated in trials was carrying forward into operational use. This was not a rifle that performed on a conditioned test range and degraded in the field. It was a rifle that had been engineered to perform where it actually had to work. The comparison to what American snipers had carried before and what they would have continued to carry had the ASR program failed makes the operational significance clearer. A sniper team with 2 MK-22 rifles and a set of barrel assemblies now carries the capability that previously required 3 separate weapons systems, 3 separate logistical chains, and 3 separate training standards. That consolidation is not just an administrative convenience. It is an operational multiplier. No honest account of the MK-22 omits its genuine limitations. The modularity that defines the system comes with a weight and complexity cost that fixed caliber bolt guns do not carry. In its .338 Norma Magnum configuration with suppressor, the MK-22 system is a heavy carry, particularly for operators already managing the weight demands of extended operations in difficult terrain. The advantage of extended effective range does not eliminate the physical cost of moving that mass across a mountain approach. The training requirement for the MK-22 is higher than for a single caliber system. Operators must develop proficiency across multiple chamberings, understand the ballistic differences between them at extended range, and maintain the discipline to manage a modular system's additional points of inspection and maintenance. For a force like SOCOM, that training investment is manageable. For a conventional military unit, without the same training infrastructure, it would represent a meaningful barrier. The cost of the program was substantial. The per-unit cost of the MK-22 system, including the optics package and suppressor, is significantly higher than the M24 or comparable fixed-caliber precision rifles it replaced or supplemented. That cost is justified by capability, but it reinforces that the MK-22 is a specialized tool for a specialized force. These are not failures, they are the price paid for a capability that no previous single platform had delivered, and the operators who carry it have, by all available accounts, accepted that price without complaint. Placed against its direct predecessors in the SOCOM sniper inventory, the MK-22's position is clear. The M24A conventional 7.62mm bolt gun could not reach the engagement distances that Afghan mountain terrain regularly produced. The Mk13 in 300 Winchester Magnum extended that reach but remained a single-caliber system with no organic suppressor capability built into its design. Against international equivalents, the Mk22 competes with platforms like the Accuracy International AXMC, a British-designed multi-caliber chassis rifle that had been adopted by several NATO partners before the ASR program concluded. Both systems reflect the same doctrinal evolution, the recognition that the era of the single-caliber military sniper rifle was ending and that modularity was the direction precision rifle development was moving across Allied militaries. The Mk22's distinction within that field is the combination of its specific caliber selection optimized around the .338 Norma Magnum as a primary, chambering that several Allied nations had already validated, and the depth of its integration with the American SOCOM logistics and training system. The AXMC and Mk22 are not competitors in operational terms. They represent parallel conclusions reached by different militaries solving the same problem. What the Mk22 demonstrated was that the American procurement system, slow, demanding, and expensive as it is, could still produce a world-class outcome when the requirement was written correctly and the evaluation was conducted honestly. That is a less dramatic point than a battlefield story, but it is an equally important one. The Mk22 MOD-0 entered inventory during a period of significant doctrinal reassessment in how American Special Operations Forces thought about long-range precision engagement. Its arrival accelerated a conversation that had been building for more than a decade about the relationship between sniper capability, standoff distance, and the suppression of enemy freedom of movement. The consolidation of 3 caliber families into one modular platform influenced subsequent Army thinking about precision rifle procurement beyond SOCOM. The lessons of the ASR program, particularly the field-validated argument for modularity and integrated suppression, fed into broader discussions about the next generation of service-wide sniper systems. Internationally, the Mk22's selection reinforced the .338 Norma Magnum cartridges positioned within NATO partner procurement cycles. When a military is technically rigorous and operationally experienced as SOCOM selects a cartridge as its primary long-range precision round, Allied nations take note. The rifle itself, as of the early 2020s, remained in active service and production. No replacement program had emerged. That continues continuity. In a domain where technology moves quickly and operational lessons accumulate fast, is its own form of endorsement. The snipers who carry it do not describe it in the language of procurement documents. They describe it the way soldiers have always described tools that work with the quiet confidence of people who have stopped wondering whether the equipment will hold and started focusing entirely on the mission. The Mk22 ASR was not supposed to be a simple story. The requirement was ambitious, the competition was real, and the skeptics had legitimate reasons to doubt that a single modular rifle could replace 3 separate platforms without compromising the performance that special operations snipers depend on. It replaced them. And it did not compromise. The rifle that should have failed its trials went on to destroy every performance benchmark placed in front of it, not through luck or favorable conditions, but through disciplined engineering, a requirements process grounded in actual combat experience, and a design philosophy that refused to accept the traditional limitations of the precision rifle form. In a domain where the margin between a successful shot and a failed one can determine whether an operator comes home, the Mk22 gave American snipers something they had not had before: a single platform, capable of adapting to the full range of distances and conditions the modern battlefield produces. That is not a small thing. It is, by any honest measure, exactly what a military rifle is supposed to do. If the history of American precision rifle development is something you want to go further into, the next video is already waiting. Short pause, stay on the channel.